G'day everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Gibbo and Curly Show. I think we can anoint ourselves, Blair. Welcome along, mate.
Thank you, mate. How you been?
We're good, real good. Feeling a lot better this week too, with a bit of sunshine around. Really hoping that we get a dry track and some decent weather for this meeting at Doomben Saturday coming up.
Yeah, we'll probably get into that in the review, but geez, they've been unfortunate that a couple of weeks off. It would have been great growing weather, and then the rain comes race day. Quite unbelievable.
It was, and it certainly changes it just changes the way that you look at races, I suppose, as well, compared to doing a preview on the Thursday. Then you get to Saturday and the track changes. Certainly, with the rain, it does certainly help those that are on speed. It's just the nature of the beast, I suppose. Once it gets wet, sort of horses land in their position, and then they sort of can only go basically one speed all the way around, and where they lob is almost where they sort of finish. So
yeah, it's the absolute worst case scenario, isn't it? Rain on the day. Rain leading up's never ideal, but rain on the day is just a whole different kettle of fish.
Sure is, but I suppose we look back at a few results here and we go through last Saturday's meeting. I will just bring up some results here and we can work through these as we go through. Start off with race one. I suppose I should start with mine. I was pretty keen my Diamantine here, thinking that it would sort of lead or race on speed. Unfortunately, there wasn't really a lot of intent to lead. The lead was sort of there, and the jock sort of chose to restrain, and then the horse started over racing, and Jeff Lloyd rolls to the front. And once again, he's very hard to get past when he does that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that hand up to Zebek again after they did it a fortnight earlier and it got the cash, but that's exactly what happened. And it was pretty much race over, wasn't it? Once he found the front, he dictated and won. Exoteric continues to run well up here. They can probably both win again. Not much else to take out, but really, is there?
Not really, not outside of those. If you have a look at the market there was no really big movements really anywhere, was there? So
no.
Bit of money for the third horse, Irish Optimism, again for 2 weeks in a row. But, once again, Jeff Lloyd in front, he's just too good.
Yeah.
Race two. Look, I thought the way, with a bit of moisture still in the track, it was certainly cut up after race one. You could see that they went down the straight twice in the staying event. It looked to suit Yarra Power. And once again, the horse is just flying, this horse. Bounced on the bunny and too good.
Yeah, it looked like a carbon copy, didn't it? It looked exactly the same as 3 or 4 weeks before, whenever it was. He went around, Jag drove him out, found the front. Similar to the first, it was all over. Again, a couple, Oh Boy and Roxburgh sort of hitting the line, but as in taking anything out of the race, I think the story was the winner. I don't think you can really follow much else with confidence. You can see there a little bit of money very late on UBet.
Yeah, a little bit of a dabble there. From about midday, it was $7.50 into $6. So I think once you sort of identified there that first race, you see that first race where being on speed seemed to be okay, and Yarra Power was that sort of horse that was identified sort of after race one, really, and late in the market that would be leading, and sure enough, got the money. Race three. We've seen a couple of nice 2-year-olds here, and I know that you were keen at Sizzling Ace, Blair, and I don't know whether it got you again. He's being a bit harsh. Certainly not being harsh on the horse, but it might have got you again on the pump, did it?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm a massive fan. I have been. As we said, Jeff, give it a few very questionable steers or pretty ordinary steers. It just had no luck in its first prep. You got the Coke and Sass, and Regan Bayless went on. Panino run along. Sizzling Ace has actually run 11, I think it was 11.78 or 11.80 last split. The only one to break 12 in this race, and the next quickest was about 12.2 wicked way. So it's run about 3 lengths quicker than, she's run 3 lengths quicker than anything else the last 200. It was an enormous run. She'll get me again for sure. They'll get the 1,200. I think she's a listed horse without doubt. I'm not sure these others will be. I think Panino sticking to 1,000 would be the go and can win again. But I'll take Sizzling Ace again any day.
The track was downgraded to heavy 8 after the race and retrospective. She led Panino. She done it all she could. She was possibly entitled to tire a bit late.
Yeah. Oh, the effort was still of the winner was still excellent. Sizzling Ace was back off that speed and was entitled to run home as well. I just thought it did an excellent job. So did Panino and the runner-up. So again, another race where you can sort of look at the 3 place getters.
Yep.
And I genuinely reckon they're the ones you're focusing on, as in playing a part in the carnival. Probably, especially the winner to 1,000 and Sizzling Ace sort of when she gets to 1,200.
For sure. And again, you can see the market fluctuations there. And it's why it's so important. We talk about this a lot. Race 2, after race 2, Yarra Power leading. You can see there in the timestamps of those bets. Yarra Power wins after leading. And then, bang, $3.80 into $3 on UBet straight away about Panino because that was mapped as the leader in the race. So, once again, the money was right. And I think it's one of the great things about betting at Doomben is the track plays consistently within the different environments. So you know that if you get a rain during the day or that soft track, that Doomben will play consistently, will suit horses that race nearer to the speed. It's just the way it is. So adapting to the conditions that we bang on about a fair bit.
Yeah, great. I've always said it's one of my favourite tracks because you sort of know what you're going to get. So
exactly.
It's doing a good job too for the amount of rain and racing it's had. We're lucky to have it, I think.
Absolutely. Race 4, I was keen Denburn here at the each way price. Wasn't quite good enough. Savwell was one that we had spoken about last week that was sort of tried further in distance and just didn't stay and come back to a mile. And D Brown Special got the job done.
Yeah, I think he's 3 from 3 on it now on Savwell Brown. It just really suits the horse. Gives it that quiet ride, just relaxes it, and it just seems to run for him. Seems to just go better when he's on. Miss Severina was a really good run. Probably a career best there. I was with you, Denburn. He's got a race in him. Probably the extra bit of rain didn't help. He found the right spot. He had every opportunity, but maybe a dry track. I won't sack him yet, Denburn. But
he was still 4 lengths off the winner. And like you said, the winner was a good D Brown ride. It's another horse that was sort of reasonably solid in the market without anything outstanding. It held its quote and tightened up a little bit as it got closer to jump time, and it sort of ran to market expectation. And Miss Severina was one that you identified as being a good run who drifted out in the market a fair bit. There was no love for it. 11's out to 21s, but still done a great job.
Yeah, look the winner at the 200.
It did. There's not a lot to come out of that. Nothing that caught your eye in particular out of that one?
No, I'd be happy to let him go. Yourself?
Yeah, D Brown was the one that caught my eye. I just think that he's getting into form at the right time, and he'll be popping up and be a regular winner over the carnival. He's one of the best in Queensland. He doesn't ride a lot, but I'm sure he's got himself cherry ripe for this carnival. I think he's got on some good horses, and we've seen a couple in this meeting that I think can be following.
Yeah, you can add probably a few of Snowden's to it as well that he'll get on.
Yeah, absolutely. Race 5, Bushy. There's a bit of money around for Bushy in this race. I'm just having a look at the fluctuations here. He went 10s into 5s on the day. I didn't have him. I didn't do much good in this race either, to be honest. The Bushy wasn't one that I was sort of landed on. I sort of had a little bit of a spec El Campeador, who races well first up as a rule, and he did it again on Saturday. But Bushy, aided by a good ride from Robbie, just up inside of them and got the cash.
Yeah, it was a race I didn't win on either. I thought El Campeador was one of the better runs. Look, going forward, it's another race that I'm not too keen to follow the form out of going forward. I think there'll be many winners come out of it. One that I thought was a decent run was a stay resuming Expert Tia for months. Was beaten 6 lengths, but got a long way back. I think it was about the 4th fastest last 200 of the race. She'll need another one. But I think she'll then get to 18, 2000, and I reckon third up we can follow and probably get the cash there somewhere.
Yeah, I think we've had a bit of luck with her before, haven't we, when she stepped and raced on speed and made a mess.
She improved last prep, and I just think she's one that she's tough. They usually put her in the race when she's rock hard fit, take off on the corner, and she's a really tough mare. So I think we can follow her in a couple of runs, and we'll be getting some money.
Make a note of that one. Race 6, YPO. Look, we said on the preview about this race, it was sort of pretty excited to see a couple of nice horses here in YPO, and Marble was another one that we identified. And YPO, while he wasn't loved in the market, you can see the volume on Betfair. There's 155,000 exchanged on this horse in particular, and he was $2 into $1.80 back out to $2.60 at the jump, but led and gapped them.
Yeah, I think as we take those two out of it as well, YPO was outstanding. He's never great out of the gates. He does have to get ridden, but then when he gets there, he just relaxes. And I mean, he was way too good, but geez, the run of Marble was good. Another one, the only one in this race to break 12 for the last 200. Yep. Got back, never really seemed comfortable in the going, got checked on the corner, lost momentum, got going again and run that last 200. I reckon he's a ripper. And I reckon when you get to 1,200, he'll win a race. He'll win some type of black type race over the Carnival Marble. YPO up to 1,200 can continue to win, but they're definitely the two from this. The others might find a race, but I think they're the black type horses, and they'll win a good race. And
Cass running second. Interestingly enough, it was well found on the day as well. It was like $23 early into as low as $13 at the jump. So there was a bit of specking around for it, and ran a good race to run second. But I'm with you there. YPO and Marble are the two coming out of that for me, for sure. Race 7. Well, we've read a lot about this race for the unfortunate reasons around Amanat being declared a non-runner on the day after getting caught in the barriers. He still eventually got out of the gates and jumped and chased them up, and wasn't beaten all that far for a horse that ripped some teeth out and fractured his jaw. It was unbelievably tough. All honours to the winner, though, in his stride. And great to see James Orman ride a listed winner too, back after his injury from his... he had a vertebrae issue there that had him out for a fair few weeks, and great to see him back. And we know this horse in his stride is always thereabouts. It's always threatened to win. It's always sort of been getting back, running on, not far away, and got everything right on the day.
Yeah, take nothing away from him. I thought he was just ordinary last prep in his stride, but he has come back better this time in again and sort of at his back to his best. Things did go his way here with Amanat being a non-runner and Mr. Sneaky being beaten 5. That was a massive drift in the race. Look, I don't know what to make of this. Is another one just with what happened at the gates and Mr. Sneaky below average. I'm prepared really to not, even though it was a feature, not really focus on it. The last race was run quicker, and yeah, I'm brushing over it, unfortunately, the feature.
That's an important stat. I think, full credit to In His Stride and Rex Slip and Jimmy Orman there. High on Back's a horse that's going well, ran really well in the Wheatwood first up and has ran really well here again. I think Tasani Tomso running third is just a little bit flattering for him because of the heavy track. He certainly goes better on the heavy. And like you mentioned about Mr. Sneaky, I think that was something that's sort of worth looking at. You're talking about these horses that come up from Melbourne. Have a look at the market here. The market told you it wasn't winning. It was $3.90 at the $6.50 on the day on UBet. The market knew it wasn't winning. It's as simple as that. So, when you talk... Look, I had Mr. Sneaky best horse in the race, thought it would win. Amanat, the second best horse in the race. So, no good for me at all from a punting or a perspective. But, like you say, I think the story out of that race certainly is Amanat and the drift on Mr. Sneaky and it running 9th from a punting point of view. But we'll move on to race 8 with a promise. Well, Bobby Alyssa, there were some questions how Bobby Alyssa can get a ride in a listed race and whatever else with Amanat. He got the job done Wheatwood Day. Comes to doom and obviously disappointment of Amanat, but then I think he almost outrode them here, Blair, with a promise.
Yeah, no, it was one of those sort of races where they just sort of didn't go hard. And I think the story of the race might well have been Bedford will get to 2,000, and I thought it finished really well. I think 2,000 written all over it, and I think that's the story of the race. Less than
2 lengths separated the first 10 across the line, which an old rule in punting, I suppose. The bunch finish is always a race to be wary of going forward. So with a promise, definitely, as she's got older, has developed into a wet tracker that wants a mile, and that's what she got here. So full credit to the team there having that win. But like you said, Bedford to 2,000, and the rest. I think there's not a lot between the rest over this trip anyway. So I think basically the finishing positions told the story. There's not a lot between these.
No. I sort of, you do your reviews looking for future winners. I'm not sure what wins out of that bar Bedford going forward, as in a good race over the carnival.
Absolutely. Okay, race 9 was the last race on the card. We had Mr. Marbaloo's go around at a pretty short quote, or very short quote, I should say, $1.50. On Newbet, it was $1.60 to $1.50. $372,000 traded on Betfair with this horse. But, he led, and I think he had every chance. We spoke about this horse last week, saying it's going to be a big effort from Kempy having this horse, nearly 5 weeks between runs on a heavy track. River Racer, wow. What a win.
Nearly unbelievable. She's always promised to do something, but she was essentially a Class 1 horse going in here, and 3 wide around Doomben wet tracks, you just don't see it. She didn't just do it, she ran away from them. She only has to run up to that to be winning something very good over the carnival, run quicker than the feature 1200 for the day in a pretty good race here. Mr. Marvelous at run 6 from 7, and Oink's a very handy horse. So
absolutely.
He was probably the winner of the day, without question.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I totally agree. River Racer was the winner of the day. Look, no massive market support or anything like that. It was $10 all day, and we can't use any footage, Blair, but we can probably use facial expressions to sum up the win of River Racer. I was just like, wow, that was some win.
Yeah, it was quite unbelievable. That she's one to follow off that for sure.
Absolutely. So if you could take a couple of horses out of there that won on the day, I thought River Racer and YPO were good, and I think you've mentioned a couple of the beaten brigade to follow as well.
Yeah, I think Sizzling Ace was beaten but can win. I thought Marble was beaten but could win, and Bedford was beaten but could win. I think there's a few there and very confident that we can make money in the next month off them.
I'm just going to write those down because I'll forget that. Marble, Bedford, and
Sizzling Ace.
Sizzling Ace. There we go, punters. Rightio. Well, we're going to have to build a bank Saturday so we can get to the back these runners in 2 weeks' time.
Pretty excited about this Doomben meeting. Let's rip in.
Looking forward to it, actually. It's been a while since we've had some sunny skies, and I think we're going to get a decent track here. So genuinely excited about Saturday. I'm with you on this one. Featured, Group 2 is a feature race. But we've got to get through the card. We'll start with race 1, 2,030 metres. Not a lot of interest for me here just as yet. There's a couple of things of note for me. Is Jay Lloyd jumps off Backhouse Billy, last start winner that he rode, and goes on to Great Glen for Chris Waller was one of the things that I noted here. Yourself?
Yeah, so it was very exciting about the meeting. Probably not race 1. Yeah, you picked up Jeff Lloyd on Great Glen. The blinkers go on first time as well. You would say they would be leading here. Look, I think it's just going to be a muddling tempo. Maybe he takes off early or he might try his Zebek trick and just wait as long as he can and sprint better than them. But, look, I think it's a bit of a trap race, to be honest, early in the day. I think we can sort of make money later on.
Oh, we might shout the wives lunch for race 1 and have a bet in race 2. What do we got? The class 6,050. Not a lot of acceptors here. There was a big noms. There's a lot of noms in this race, and we sort of get down to a field of 10 with the scratching of In Good Time from gate 11 comes out. Your thoughts on race 2?
Yeah, pretty keen. Kings of Leon. Sort of wish In Good Time had not been scratched from the wide gate because they would have had to have pressed the button and that would have just been more speed into it. Kings of Leon will get back just worse in midfield. A lot of speed here, though, when you've got Bon Show, Khaleesi, Alaskan Wolf, and Jest Excel all in the market. I could get egg on my face, but I have no idea how Just Excel is as low as 550 in the early markets.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I just think Kings of Leon has got more upside than these. His 2 trials recently have been very good. He's got a really nice turn of foot, and I think that speed just allows him to suck up behind him on the corner, and I think he'll go past. Next best for me is Boncho. I'm a big fan of the mare, but I think her second up record is clearly superior than Fresh. She does have McGilvray in a good gate, though, so I think it's a good race. I'm pretty keen Kings of Leon, and I think probably Boncho's the next best. You?
Yeah, look, I'm with you on that. I'm Kings of Leon on top for me, and you're spot on about Boncho. I love the mare. She's been good to me on the punt as well, and you're spot on with your assessment. She's had 4 first up runs for a second and a third, and second up she's 1, 2 from 3. So look, I'm with you there, Kings of Leon. We're starting to get into that time of year where we have to decipher the Sydney and Melbourne form into the Brisbane form, and we see it here with Kings of Leon, who just looks to have a little bit of class on the rivals here. I'm with you all the way. Race number 3, Class 6, 1630. Field of 14 to go around. It's a pretty even race, this. I thought we get the southern visitor here, Coldstone. Comes through a listed race at Flemington and Bendigo, where he was on speed and not far away, beating a length and 3/4 to Sovereign Nation, Answer My Friend, which is strong form. And then Bendigo to the Golden Mile, beating 2.5 lengths to Dodging Bullets. You'd think it's the horse to beat. You got thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think it's that form will stack up here for sure. I think Coldstone's the best of the on-speed runners here. Does give a kick, and I don't think we've sort of got the quality that he's been bumping into. So runs a race for sure, and if the track is playing that way, I think it'll be really hard to beat. And I thought the best of the back markers is Miss Dubois. Got a big fan of her. She will be better off this run again. She'll bounce to probably 1800 and be highly competitive in anything. But I think the 1600 second up, Lloyd Sticks, she was excellent late, Fresh. I think she's probably the best of the back markers. So Coldstone up front, Miss Dubois, probably the best of the back markers. And I think the one you like might sit in between them.
I'm hoping Monto does sit sort of, just forward of midfield. I'll give it a really good rough chance. I've had a little nibble each way at the big price. I just think that it's a good rough hope, and its first up run was super. So happy to stick with Monto in this race. I think its best is probably second best to Coldstone here. So over this trip in particular. So
the punters will be happy with you at $23.
Hopefully. Race 4. Look, it's a big field, race 4. It's the benchmark 75, 1200 full field, as you would imagine. I've sort of got this down to 3 winning chances, and of them, I thought Quick Catch was the one at the price. I liked its form behind Publishing Power and Mr. Marbaloo's to come up $11 and $3 a place. I think it's one of one of maybe 3 winning hopes. Yourself?
Yeah, I agree. I think there's 3 winning hopes as well. I'm very bullish about Eminent. I just think it's placed really well here. There's a bit of speed, just enough that Brooker can come out neutral and sit 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Got a bit of upside. You go through the last prep and was beaten a nose by Eminent, and then also run second to finish that prep to I'm a Ripper, who was airborne at the time, who then went on to win a Magic Millions race.
Good form.
I just think that's great form for this. I thought Manea was sort of the class horse, but she has got the 59. She's giving weight to the boys. She's got gate 12. It's going to have to be a good ride to get in. So I think she's a class runner, but she's got a fair bit against her, whereas Eminent's got everything going for him. So Eminent for me, pretty confident. And I think other than that, you've only got Quick Catch that you mentioned. And I genuinely think it's a 3-horse race too. I'd be very surprised if one of them don't win. But yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if Eminent's not right in the money.
Good price at $5 too. You could probably have an each way bet there.
Yep.
Race 5 for the 2-year-olds, the Dalrello Stakes. Mashani Hustler is, Shamert, the 11, from Tony Gollan. For Tony Gollan has come up favourite. unbeaten in 2 goes. It ran some time to it to Woomba at its last win on Wheatwood Day. I thought it was really good that day. Just might be a nice horse. Just might be a really nice horse, this. I gave it a very good winning chance along with one Mashani Hustler, who I think will likely roll to the front again. And one at odds, which I think will improve off its first up run down the bottom there. Number 13, Clockwise, I think from the good gate, it gets a nice, cosy run just behind the speed. And at $18 and $4.80, I think it's the horse that can certainly be included in trifectas and Quinellas and the like.
Yeah, agree with you, Shamert. Really nice filly, gets the gun run here from 5, just can smoke the pipe in behind them, as it's done first 2 from 2. I think gets every opportunity and a deserved favourite. I've got no knock there. The way Mashani Hustler's been going, he'll drive forward from 6. Brown will also drive forward from 7. Grab the shoulder of Mashani Hustler, sit outside leader. I think Only Wanna Sing's a bit of an underrated conveyance. I thought the run behind Plumaro was excellent, got used up, hung on well, beat the rest easy. Yep. Blinkers go on. They were on for a trial the other day that it won well. $7.50 an each way play for me. The 2 Only Wanna Sing.
Race 6 for the 3-year-olds. Again, another really good field here with some good form lines coming here from both down south and locally too, with horses like Snitz and Mashani Bullet, who was really impressive first up. Mashani Bullet was super winning, and Marsupial comes up here for Godolphin, and Jim Byrne takes a ride from gate 2. Last up, Warwick Farm winner. The market sort of identified those 3: Marsupial at 250, 240, Mashani Bullet, and Snitz. Only other 2 runners under double figure. Sorry, we've got one down the bottom, Mashani Electra from gate 1. He's $8.50. So the market sort of honed in on the top 3 in market order here. What were your thoughts on this one, Blair?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an ugly race, sort of the main lead-up race, if you want, for this, that Mashani Bullet won. There was a couple of horses in behind that had absolutely no luck. Mainly Cruise and Femme Fireball. Femme Fireball's a really nice horse, but Doomben isn't a track, and gate 17 just makes it incredibly hard for her. In this, Cruise gets the better gate. He had no luck at all, held up the 400, 200, run some good splits in between there. I think about $15 or something, Cruise. I can entertain that. No doubt, Marsupial with the gate. The one to beat just doesn't savage the line. He sort of hits the front, and he's never really put him away, but from the gate, he has to be the one to beat. But look, nice race. We could be here all day talking about it, but probably something Cruise at the price and Marsupial sort of to cover me bet for me.
Yeah, look, I'm with Marsupial here. The gate is the thing that tipped me over the edge as far as putting it on top. It just gets the right run, doesn't it? And that'll be the difference here, Marsupial for me. Race 7, the Aquis Park Gold Bracelet, 1,600 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. We've seen a few of these at the Sunny Coast 2 weeks ago, and we get a couple of others that come here from down south. And one that I was particularly interested in here down the weights here, number 12, Play That Song for Michael Moroney. It's drawn gate 1. I'll just flick down so you can have a look through its form lines here. This brings a different form. Obviously, the Bendigo Ballarat runs in pretty strong company and stopped in Newcastle along the way to pick up a Class 1 1875 metres in record time, and come from well back on the field and rounded them up and won impressively. Straight into a listed race here in Brisbane. It was one that I thought was massive overs, certainly over the odds. Looking down here, it's at $19. I thought it was one that was over the odds. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, hard to get stuck right into it this far out, but look, I'm with you. I actually thought there was 2 value plays in this that I'll be saying punters should be throwing in quaddies at the very least, and Play That Song was one. sort of probably 2,000 would be better. Back to the 1,600 may not be ideal, but from the gate can sit that bit closer. And just like the way she goes through the line, I think she's a nice horse. I'm with you. I think at $21, it's worth a play. And the other one was Impulsive, who I did like at the Sunshine Coast. Lloyd went to go forward, couldn't get in, went back, couldn't get in, went forward, couldn't get in, 4 wide the entire around that track. Probably been beaten less than 5. He's actually a fair run when you look at what she did. So I can't jump off the fact that I liked her last time and she had no luck. So I think both of those at $21 are worth a play. In a really sort of open race, you probably have to dissect it a bit closer to the day, but I think those two should go in quarters.
Yeah, don't disagree at all with those two. Look, I've got a question mark on Torville from 20. It's had, somewhat of what could be looked at as a few grand finals already. It's ran in the surround. It ran second, and then it stepped up to the mile. Group 3 ran second to Lover, like really good form. Obviously, it looked to me as if that maybe the Vinery at Group 1 level was his grand final, and then he's come back, dropped back.
I agree. I think
back to a 1,400, and now he's stepping back to the mile. Like, it's hard enough to do that with fillies. Certainly got the class. There's no question on that.
Yeah, I think she's probably got a couple of lengths on him, all things being equal, and everyone ready to go. But like you said, she's sort of had that grand final. They're coming back up. She's got gate 20. She's going to have to probably have a couple of lengths on them to be competitive. So, look, she can win it, no doubt in the world. But at the price, I think there's a bit of value in the race.
I'm not taking the price. 6 running from a spell, 3-year-old filly. It'd be a massive effort from Clary Connors to have it up and win.
Yep.
We go to race 8, the Group 2 Victory Stakes, and we see the return to Brisbane of last year's Stradbroke winner, Impending. Have a look at some prices here. They certainly haven't missed Impending, marking him $1.80. And second favourite, Cepedo, at $3.80. Out of I'm Excited, and Monsieur Gustave is 21s in the 16s early on. Blair, your thoughts on the Group 2?
I think it's a great race sort of going forward, but more so to see how Impending comes back. Personally, I won't take the $1.80, but I think he'll be winning. Jungle Edge will lead with Monsieur Gustave, unless they really want to go crazy on Monsieur Gustave. No need to be a silly pace here unless for some reason they get in a battle, lead at all costs. But look, Impending and most important, even Shaputo can be the next ones in the running line. And look, I think he wins. I think the trials have been okay, been pretty good. But it's just a race I'll probably look at with an eye to the future more so than leading up Saturday.
I think Impending is a real catalyst for every form analyst. Talking about the Brisbane Carnival, year in, year out, you hear the Melbourne and Sydney form analysts say that the Brisbane Carnival's inferior and whatever else. So I think Impending is really a testament to the strength of the Carnival. Look, it come here, its first run in Queensland last prep in the Kingsford Smith. It was $14. It was on a heavy track at Eagle Farm. It got beat 8 lengths. Went to the Stradbroke a $20 chance. It was given none, basically, by the market. Won well that day. And people say, the Brisbane Carnival doesn't stack up. The horse goes back and runs second in her time, with a huge run coming from well back, and then third to Red Zell and Terra Vista in the Darley. It's bounced off that Brisbane Carnival, coming here and winning a Group 1 at 20-1, and running really good races behind the best sprinters that we have at Group 1 level. So he's sort of proven himself. He's come through the grades and proven itself to be a top level competitor at that Group 1 level. Probably the best horse in the race. I think it wins, and I think the other winning chance is Cepedo. He's probably a length or two off the best of them in Victoria. You can see his form behind Russian Revolution, Redcoat Warrior, and Hellbent. He's a length or two behind them, which is certainly good enough to be winning here. And I can see Jeff Floyd having Cepedo curled up in the running line, 4th or 5th, and trying to chase them down.
Start the upsy downsies, and here he comes.
He'll be bouncing his way into first or second anyway. I've got no doubt about that. The last race on the card. This is a really good race for the three.
Best race of the day. Best race of the day. The best form will come out of this race, and there'll be multiple winners come out of it, I have no doubt.
There is probably 3 or 4 horses here that I like, that I'm really keen to look at to go around in Queensland. I think that the form that comes up from the south is better. We've got Hang and Symphonic Dancer, probably fair to say, leading the way in the 3-year-old ranks at this stage at this trip. And then you've got horses like Villamont for Kieran Maher, California Turbo for the Snowden Camp. And I should have got you to pronounce the 13 horse there.
No, I was just looking at it, trying to work it out. Omanika
and Dark Dream come up here with that southern form. Throw Tavistock Abbey into the mix from the Freedman Camp, and you've got a cracking 3-year-old mile race.
Yeah, really good race. You can look at it plenty of ways. Villamont looks, at initial look, the class. He's been good, just behind some good horses. The last start was in the Carbine, the Group 3, behind Marraquib. Look, that's good form. The Gento before that, 3 lengths off him. He's a genuinely good horse who won the Sandown Guineas in good style. He's going to be very hard to beat. I think California Turbo's one right on the way up. Maybe 1,400 might be more his go, but I think he's a genuinely good horse. Yep. Dark Dream's the one early on that I think I'll be backing. I just love the way he savages a line every time he goes around, and he would have had California Turbo in one more stride. From gate 1, just can hopefully sit midfield. He can have a bit of a flat spot, but he's the one that interests me the most at the moment. And the one going forward, I think, that'll get out in trip is Ominika. The win last time at Warwick Farm, yes, it was a maiden, but gee, it was arrogant, and it was the win of a nice horse. So a win wouldn't surprise with it. But I think when you get to 2,000, you're going to see a serious horse.
We had a look at the prices for the race. Any early plays there in race 9 for you?
Probably not an early play. I like Dark Dream. I can't see it being smashed in the market at all. But maybe the 13 with Lloyd. Yes, it's a bad gate. Might get back. But $13 is probably good. About one that might go on and win some nice races later in the carnival. So, look, I don't know, but they're the ones that interest me. Have you got a thought?
Yeah, no, I haven't had a bet in the races yet. I had one further question for you for the Queenslanders. Hang or Symphonic Dancer, who's first past the post out of those two for the locals?
Oh, geez. Hang's win was enormous at Toowoomba. Better horse on the day. I just think Symphonic Dancer didn't get everything go his way. He's a horse that needs to really wind up, and sort of under a throttle hold to the 200. He lost momentum. It was all over.
He did.
Gun to me head, I'd say Symphonic Dancer, maybe a long neck to Hang, but they might be 5th and 6th. Yeah,
I'm with you there. There's not much between them. Symphonic Dancer obviously didn't get a crack at them in the Toowoomba Guineas, and Matt McGilvray sticks here, and I think he won't be making the same mistake. He'll be off and running and putting himself in the race, and I'm with you. I think they finished close together and just behind.
Yeah, they can go into first 4s. That wouldn't surprise.
So overall, the play that I'm happy to have I've had a little play Monto at the big price in race 3 for me. I think it's one of those that was an eye catcher first up without being a massive bright flashing light, and I think it's extremely suitable to the 16:30 second up. And at this stage, that's my early play. What about yourself? Have you got something for us?
Hunters will be screaming for you if that gets up. That'll be sensational. Monto. Look, I like a few. I'm pretty keen on the day. I reckon we can make money. Race 2, number 3, Kings of Leon. Already a little bit of support there at around, 375 U-bet.
In from 4.
I think we can go race 4, number 7, Eminent, around the $7. I think they're probably the best 2. I might have something I only want to sing each way, but I think races 2 and 4 is where we can make sure we're in front for the day.
Excellent. Well, we've got some good prices there. $5 about those couple, or $4 and $5 around about that price for those couple, and Monto at $20 odd would be a good result early in the day. And as we said, those races that back end the program here are just you know, they're really going to be a great pointer going forward in the carnival, and it's just great to have these good horses up here, and we look forward to a great day at Doomben.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone get out to the BRC if you can. Be a great day's racing out at Doomben. We're going to try and get up there over the carnival, I know, Shane. And keep an eye out for this. Share it with your mates. We'll be doing this over the carnival, keeping you up to date, hopefully finding plenty of winners. So, yeah, make sure you share it around.
All right, mate. Well, thank you. And we look forward to catching up again on Saturday, and we'll head off for a great day of the races. Talk soon.
So, see you, mate.